What is going on, all you YouTubers, including all the B words, C words, G words, and N words? It's Matt with BeardiestGaming coming at you with a new LP. This one I am super psyched to be doing for you. I've been contemplating it, debating the wisdom of it, and I have decided that it is indeed the wisest choice. I have chosen well. I am coming at you with Dawn of War 2. This is going to be the vanilla campaign, so you can just negate, you can just block out, redact what it says down here. We're going to get to that later. Anyway, Dawn of War 2, a bit of an oldie, but I think it's a goldie. Released back in February of 2009. Probably the oldest game that I've thrown up here thus far, but I think it's going to be well worth it. A little bit of a story behind this one. Developed by Relic Entertainment and was originally produced by THQ. That is until THQ went bankrupt in December of 2012. Now, for the more financially astute of you, bankrupt can be replaced with tits up. That is a scientific term for going bankrupt. As a result, a lot of THQ's properties and projects that they were working on were, in fact, purchased by several other publishers, developers at that time. And Dawn of War license was picked up by Sega. Because I don't think Sega's really been into the console since the old Dreamcast fiasco. So Sega's been publishing it since then. And you can get Dawn of War 2 and all of its subsidiary and expansion packs on the Steam network. And Steam has been having loads of sales on this game since I've joined up with Steam. And I haven't really been on Steam all that long. Since I've been on it, and which I think is... I mean, I don't even think it's been half a year. Maybe. I think there's been 3 separate sales on this. Currently, there is no sale, but you can pick it up, the standalone campaign, for $19.99. You can choose to, there are several options. You can choose to pick up the Master Pack, which is $54.99, and with that you get the Vanilla Campaign, Chaos Rising Expansion, and also the Retribution Pack expansion. If that's not enough Warhammer 40k for you, you can go for the Grandmaster, which is coming in at a whopping $79.99. Now with this, you get all the aforementioned, plus you can pick up some skins and some DLC weapon packs. Now, I mean, I personally, I don't know if it's worth it. The weapon packs, it's kind of a pay to win scenario, and you don't really need it. You get enough gear in the games, except the last one, but we'll get to that when we get to it. In the skins, I mean, what does it really do for you? It adds some different colorations and some fancy flyers on stuff. So for me, not really worth it, but if it's your thing, go for it. I'm not going to judge. And lastly, I'm not done yet. We have the franchise pack. Now the franchise pack comes with all the aforementioned, and you can pick up the previous series, because, a spoiler alert, Dawn of War 2 is not the first game in the series. There is in fact a series, more of an army-based RTS game rather than a squad-based, which is what Dawn of War 2 is. There was 4 games, I believe, prior to this, and you can pick all them up, plus the aforementioned, for a heavyweight of $139.99. Now, enough of the baloney, or the BS, if you will. We're going to get right into the campaign and get this pig started. So, yeah, we're going to go to the campaign. Now, again, we're just going to avoid this like the plague and get into the vanilla campaign. Looks much prettier now, doesn't it? Now, I am going to delete this because this was the remnants, the failings, the cast aside never-do-wells of a previous attempt to record this. Had to play around with the recording settings and frap settings, and hopefully I have this well, and hopefully when I'm done rendering it, it'll render well, and it'll be very pretty for all you kindly viewers out there. So we're going to start a new campaign, and we have to name our force commander, and I am going to go with our previous name for a couple reasons. One, you know, it's got that Old Testament feel to it, and one thing you're going to find out with names in the 40k universe, a lot of biblical it seems like they've regressed. Our distant ancestors have regressed, and it's now hip to call yours. They don't really use the term. They don't really use the name Jesus. They kind of shy away from that one. But all the others, Baphomet, Israel, Azrael, Baal, names of that matter. So we're gonna go with that, and we're gonna go with a Z instead of an S, because a Z is just that much cooler. Now here we get to choose our difficulty, and of course Recruit is gonna be your easiest setting, Sergeant's gonna be your normal, Captain's gonna be your hard, and Primarch is going to be your WTF am I doing here. So Recruit, I think I'm a little bit better than Recruit. I do have a little bit of experience playing this game. This is not going to be a blind playthrough. I do have some time in. I think I have over at least over a dozen hours in, at least in this game. Captain, but above Sergeant, Captain, and Primarch, I haven't even touched Primarch, and I don't plan to. I'm just not a sadist like that. I'm not a masochist. But the enemies really just start turning into bullet sponges at this point, and your teammates are just as thin as tissue paper and about as helpful in a pinch on the toilet. So I'm gonna avoid that with all due grace and get on into it, and we're gonna settle down for some story.
Subsector Aurelia. This cluster of worlds stands on the very edge of the Imperium of Man. From this frontier came the Blood Ravens, a chapter of the Emperor's own Space Marines. Savage humans seek to break the Blood Ravens once and for all. Captain Davian Thule and a handful of Space Marines lead the raw recruits defending these worlds. Now, another Space Marine joins this desperate battle. A newly promoted commander, ready to lead in our darkest hour. You are this Space Marine. And you will tip the balance toward victory.
Alright, I guess that was really no big surprise there. Pretty typical. No one can save it but you, so we're gonna roll with it. In between missions, you will see these little I don't want to call them tooltips, but I guess little scrolls of calligraphy, otherwise known as history lessons. I hit the any key, which I have specially labeled.
Calderis. We Blood Ravens select our initiates from this world's fierce warriors. Calderis is the cradle and the future of our chapter. Now, the Orks would take it from us. This, we cannot allow.
Kill the Orks that are out in the open! Welcome, Commander. This is Captain Davian Thule, in command here on Calderis. We are battling the Orks that threaten this world. You have dropped right into the combat zone. I am north of you with several squads of our initiates. We are under heavy fire and losing control of our flanks. Move north and provide support.
Alright, so now that the story has gotten out, I can get right into my business. So I have two squads here, one guy running solo, that will be our big FC, the Force Commander, otherwise known as Israel. And then we're going to move up Sergeant Tarkus up to here. Now you will notice that when we get into cover, we have little pips will show up, and there will be either green or they will be yellow, and that denotes the extent of the cover afforded us. Green is the balls, yellow not so much, but it's better than standing out with your head out in the open. And I'm going to keep Tarkus back because I do know that these guys are going to show up. Gonna pop out the old FC. He's gonna just run in there, just swinging away madly with wild abandon, if you will. And we're gonna move these guys up. Keep moving up. We got Orks moving in on the north. We're just gonna get him. That's where the Force Commander really excels. You want him right in the thick of it. You want him in deep. You want him in getting in deep, getting in dirty. Tacticals, not so much. We're gonna pull them back because these guys obviously, because that's the Orcs' favorite tactic. Run in, head down. Don't really. No real tactics to it. Now, I am not going to be worried about health during this mission because, not to spoil anything for you, but you cannot die in this tutorial mission. And once these guys get down, oh, Force Commander just landed on his butt. Alright, let's get Tarkus in over there. Let's get the FC in up there. Looks like we got a grenade out here. Got a counter going down, but it looks like it's... Let's move you in over here. Let's move the big T in over there. And let's just start throwing grenades out. Wow, these Orks are just non-stop. But yeah, what I'm kind of hoping to do is I want to showcase the game, and during periods of inactivity, if there is such a thing in 40K, I'd like to go over the lore. I really find I have a big nerd on for 40K and Warhammer Fantasy as well. Can't get enough of it. I don't know how many hours I've just blown away. Just let's see if we can get a grenade in deep here. Just watch it. Reading 40K articles on 1D4chan or Lexicanum. Again, not really sure on the emphasis. I want everyone to know Captain Thule is just taking a Snickers break. He's had enough. He is just not impressed with how the scouts, and probably me as well, are handling themselves. But yeah, I mean, this just goes to show how much of a tank, how much of a BAMF our Force Commander is. There is a Diablo-esque loot system.
But the Greenskins will not give us much time before they attack again. I need you and Sergeant Tarkus to take charge of driving the Orks back. Move up to the ruins east of here and prepare to repel the next Ork wave.
So as I was saying before Captain Thule so rudely interrupted me.
Ork vehicle.
I think this is gonna be...
That truck has a heavy gun.
More shooting, less dying, you gits!
Target eliminated. Kill the greenskin. Receive.
Get 'em, boys! There ain't no ruins! Go get me some more boys! And these Yumis is sparking up me truck! Back through the tunnel! Well done, Commander. Those Orks have opened a path through the hill somehow. Move forward and seal it.
Now, as I was saying before I was interrupted about 14 times, there is a Diablo-esque loot system. Throughout this adventure, we will be picking up much better gear, and by the end of it, we will just be in superhuman levels of badassery. So we're gonna keep rolling with this.
And lots of cover to use on our approach. Tactical squad, return. Commander, the Orks are using a guard tower near the cave mouth. My squad can take it out with a grenade.
That is what Tarkus is good at. I will give him that much. Tarkus does do a very good job of just getting in. We're going to take our frag grenade ability and just haul it right on in there. Let's get Force Commander out of there.
The Greenskins are clearly using that mine as a passage, Commander. Seal that entrance by any means necessary.
Let fly. The Orks have stacked fuel and ordnance near the entrance over there.
Good work, Space Marines. The Greenskins will not be using that passage again anytime soon.
But the leader managed to escape through the tunnel before we could kill him. That was our chance to cut this invasion off at the head.
He will show himself again, Tarkus. And when he does, we will be ready. Thunderhawks are en route. Prepare for extraction.
Let our enemies beware.
Alright, so there's our tutorial mission, getting to get acquainted with our posse. Now, we do get loot at the end of every mission, and we have an improved chainsword, which we are going to greedily steal. There's a summation of all the war gear we've acquired. Not much in this mission, but it is not unusual in later missions just to have 2, maybe even 3 tabs just filled right up. Did get level ups on Tarkus and the big FC.
Welcome aboard Strike Cruiser Armageddon, Commander. Calderis is currently facing a massive Ork invasion that threatens to spill over to the entire sector. Urgent distress signals are coming from other nearby sectors, but we must concentrate our efforts here. I need you to take charge of an assault that's stalled on the surface below. Drop to the point marked on the planet map and start pushing into the Orks' flank.
Okay, so we are on the overlay of the planet map. Now, here we will be able to take full charge of our missions, and for some reason our mission has yet to appear here, so we did run into this last time off camera, which I deleted, and hopefully we won't run into the same issues and technical problems. But let's get on into, before we cut off this episode, we are at about the 15-minute mark, but let's get into some more basics. Now, as you saw, we do have level ups, and there is a level up experience system in place. Now, each character has 4 categories that you can dump points into. The first is your health, second is your ranged prowess, second is or third, I'm sorry, I can't count past 2, is your melee prowess, and your last is your will or your energy, your mana, for you RPGers out there. Now, you get points, and each level up you get 2. So each one costs 1, and each time you get to one of these icons, you get a new ability. Now, you can spec your guys out however you want. I do have a mode or method that I am comfortable with, and I am going to employ it in this playthrough. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to, by any means, follow my example. It's just something that I'm comfortable with, and, you know, I like comfort. Comfort is like a warm banky. Now, what I'm probably going to do in the metagame is I am going to dump points into health for the FC and melee for the FC, and I'm probably going to just get his will up to here, where he's going to get another accessory slot, and thus I'm going to be able to equip another item here, make him a little bit more versatile. Tarkus, on the other hand, now you can see you can equip him with melee weapons. I don't really agree with it. I don't see any point in it. He comes equipped with a bolter, this assault rifle, and I don't see any reason to deviate from it. As you'll see, we're going to be getting more squads. I think we get 3 or 4 more squads, and not to spoil anything, but there is a melee specialist in there. So with him, the force commander, we already have 2 guys dedicated fully to melee, and then, you know, we have Tarkus, and then we're going to have another guy that's in range. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to at least get him up to here again in the will, just to get out getting 3rd accessory slot. He's already got 2, so he's extremely versatile, and that's his forte, is being our jack of all trades. And he is a bamf. He just takes damage and he just keeps on ticking. You can drop a Hail Mary full of grace on this bad boy, and he will just walk away slow-mo, pulling out the aviators, and he is just going to be fine and dandy for the end of it. And I'm going to dump some points into a ranged as well. Now, he does have roughly the same amount of points for both. Again, I mean, it's personal preference, but it's going to be health, ranged, and energy for me. Now, for the first, I'm probably just going to unlock his taunt ability. Or do I want to go with Bolter Specialist? No, I'm not going to be able to get the Bolter Specialist. You know what? I'm going to crank up his. Now he starts off with 9.3 and increased it by about 2. Now we are going to give him the improved bolter because it just makes the most sense. I think. No, I can't double click it. We might be able to. Now, I don't know what this stuff is doing over here. I should have absolutely nothing in here. There should only be this and this. I don't know where all this stuff came from. As you saw, I deleted all my previous playthroughs, and it's still showing up, so I have no idea. Now, with the big FC, Israel, I'm not going to go for the battle cry immediately. I mean, I really should, but you know what, I'm going to go for it. Or do I want the... I might just unlock this, get this out of the way early. I'm going to get this out of the way early, and then I'm going to focus on either health or melee, or both. I don't know if I want to pair them up, you know, one here, one here, one here, one here, or if I just want to get up to a certain point and then just max out his health. But I am going to go with the will. Get that up there and then give him this, and as you will see, you just mouse over it and it'll show a comparison of what he's currently equipped with. So it's almost got 4 more damage, so we are definitely gonna slap that right on him. And there's our next mission. So I think this is where I'm going to cut off the episode. Thank you again for joining me. Again, I am super psyched to be doing this playthrough. I know it's an old game, and there are other LPs out there, but I'm going to allow myself a little bit of hubris, and I'm going to just say I don't think they got as bitchin' commentary as this one's gonna. So again, give me all the loving down below, and I will see you again next time. Peace.